welcome home. I'm Debbie with Vacation Club Loans.
And I'm Katie, and we are talking about Boardwalk today.
Yay, Disney's Boardwalk.
Yeah, so we stayed there, it was a couple weeks ago now. Very hot, I will say. So initial impressions, which Debbie and I, we kind of did different stuff the next day. So the next day I went straight to Magic Kingdom.
Yes.
And then Debbie, we had breakfast and Debbie went somewhere else. So for me, it was a fun Disney couple of days. But yeah.
I think you get to have more fun than I did on that little particular
it was
trip.
like I put out my vacation responder.
Yes.
Don't
Well,
talk to
it
me.
was super nice because at Boardwalk, they just renovated. They're in the middle of renovating the room. So we did get a brand new renovated room and it's well done. Very tasteful. I liked the new decor, fantastic floor. I think it used to have carpet. So
Yeah,
a
the floor
nice
was nice.
upgrade. Now they've got the Murphy
art,
bed.
Cute. Yeah,
Yes,
the Murphy bed was great.
art. And so the room itself, I found that this particular deluxe villa was a little bit smaller than the other deluxe villas that we've stayed in at the other Disney properties, but it's really, really well done.
The
Very
kitchen was
tasteful.
definitely smaller. The kitchen was just kind of like a U-shaped cut, so it was smaller.
Yeah. Huge
shockingly,
closet.
yeah, huge closet.
Huge closet.
Big bathroom. They still had like the two-part bathroom where you have the tub and then the vanity, and then you have the shower toilet vanity. So like big bathroom layout.
Love double vanities when you have two separate sections.
Yeah,
Very
especially
important.
when you have 6 women in one room.
Yeah.
Or 5.
Yeah, we had
Whatever
5
it was,
women.
5, yeah.
So we stayed in a 1-bedroom villa, and on the website it says it sleeps 4, but you are allowed to ask for a rollaway bed. And it's kind of a first come, first serve basis, but I think they also have blow up mattresses once they run out of the rollaways. And the nice thing was there were 5 of us. They gave us a rollaway bed, and there was plenty of room in the master bedroom to accommodate that. You didn't have to put it like in the middle of the living room so where you're walking around it.
Yeah.
So that was nice that all 5 of us were able to be, comfortable.
The balcony was pretty long, just like the Animal Kingdom balcony. It went across. There was a door from the bedroom and then a door from the living room.
Yeah.
Phew, sorry.
Bless you.
I was working that one up for a while. I was like,
We had a nice view too. We were on the other side. So we were not looking out at the main courtyard or the pool. We were on kind of over by the community hall and the quiet pool. And there was a really lovely lawn.
Yeah, like the lawn. And then the artwork on the Murphy bed was Donald and Daisy on the lawn, like right under a little arch. And then that was literally our view from the room. So we were like, oh my gosh, it's right there.
Yeah,
so
that
was really,
really
really
cool.
fun. And before we even knew that we were going to be in that room, because our room was a little late getting ready.
It was the latest we've ever seen.
Yeah, we were walking around and we were like, oh, this lawn is so adorable. Take a picture or whatever. And then one of the pictures we took ended up being like the same thing as the Donald and Daisy layout. It was so cute.
Right.
But yeah, the room did take quite a bit.
And we saw Daisy. Duck.
We did.
We did. She was in the lobby. So kudos to the lobby.
Yeah, the lobby nailed
they
it.
have the chandelier, which I think it's called, and I'm going to totally mess this up, hippopotamusasa something. So it's a Pegasus horse.
Yeah.
There's
Big. Right when you walk in, it's like.
Yeah, there's a name, and I knew it when we were there, and now I've forgotten it all of a sudden. But they have the really cool roller coaster replica in the lobby.
Yeah, little miniatures.
And a little trivia. So in the lobby at Boardwalk, there's 6 castles that are up on the walls. And you might not notice them, but each picture represents the 6 castles that are around the world. There's,
cool. I didn't
There's
know that.
Tokyo. There's Paris.
China.
There's Beijing. Is it Beijing, China?
Yes.
And then, of course, California and Orlando. So all 6 castles that represent the Disney parks. There's a picture of each one, but it's not blatant. It's like the castle is on a countryside.
Like subtle.
So you really kind of have to do a little research to figure out which one, is which
That's so
castle. But it was
cute.
very cool.
Yeah.
And then they have those little kind of crazy nanny chairs that are sitting in the lobby. You know, they're almost a little spooky looking.
Oh, yeah.
So those represent, I guess they date back to the late 1600s. So that would be where the parents would sit while their children ride the carousels. So they have these wonky chairs that are kind of sitting around, which I think is kind of a cool little thing about the lobby.
I really liked the carousel miniature that was underneath the big chandelier when you first walk in. Like we were, it's got a couch around it. So we were kind of up there and like looking at all the little miniatures, and that was really cool. I really did like the lobby, and there's a little cafe in there as well. So if you're getting there in the morning or you're leaving first thing in the morning, you can get a cappuccino, you can get a quick breakfast or whatever right there. And that was nice. And,
sit in a chair with your feet hip width apart. Place your hands on your thighs. To make it easier.
I think Siri, we were talking about chairs, and Siri is trying to teach us how to sit in a chair. Thank you, Siri. Yeah.
Please sit with your back straight.
Yeah. Like,
anyway,
and your hand
weird.
on your thighs. Like, yes, ma'am. Yeah. This is how you sit in a chair, according to Siri. Yeah. But yeah, the lobby was great. And I will say too, when we pulled in, and we always do a lap around the front, and we tell the valet, sorry, we just wanted to drive around. I really did like the entrance. There was like some scaffolding, they're doing some construction, but I really liked the look of the entrance. I thought it was so fun.
Right.
And
they have a great location.
Yeah.
It's on
really
Crescent
good.
Lake, and it's literally right next door to the back entrance of Epcot. So if you're planning an Epcot vacation, that is a fantastic location to stay at.
Yeah, you like walk across the bridge and poof, you're there.
Right there.
It's not as close as Beach Club, but it's definitely, close. Like you're facing Beach Club and Yacht Club, like across the little lagoon.
Right. So it's right on that little circle, and you've got Yacht Club, Beach, which I absolutely love Beach Club. In fact, that day we went over to Beach Club and we spent several hours at Yacht Club and Beach Club.
Yeah.
But it was so hot. It was August 1st, and it was just one of those, not a whole lot of breeze.
Well, we maybe got there at 9:15, 9:30. And we sat down. You guys were already having your breakfast like on the boardwalk. We're like, okay. The second we sat down, I'm like, it is 9:30 and I am already so sweaty. Like it was so hot and no breeze. It was just like dead hot Florida humid air. It was tough to be outside that day.
Yeah, we spent we did walk around after we had breakfast. We walked around the courtyard area. There wasn't a whole lot to do on the boardwalk itself. So we ended up going, and we had a really great time at the arcade.
Yeah.
Played some
really
Guitar
fun by
Hero.
the big pool. Yeah.
Turns out I was really good at it.
Yeah. We thought we were playing doubles, but we swiped the card and it was confusing. That was the first time we tried to play doubles for anything. So Debbie thought she was playing.
And I thought I was so good. I'm like, wow, I haven't played Guitar Hero in years. And I was hitting every chord. I was like, this is really great.
It was me. I was playing.
And I didn't know I was not playing.
And so I'm like, I sort of took a step behind her once I realized what was happening so that she wouldn't see me. And so I took a step, and then she kept turning around and looking at Lauren like, look what I'm doing. And Lauren's like,
I was so happy.
And then I looked at Lauren and I was like, she's not playing. It's me. I'm playing. Yeah. So
I did not know. I just thought I was a natural guitar
And
hero.
It's all about the experience.
So I had a super good time not playing.
Yeah. Believing I was playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the arcade was fun. The pool was packed with people, which again, totally understandable. It was incredibly hot.
Yeah, and they've remodeled that area, so now instead of
really
the clown,
fun.
it's I think it's a Mickey Mouse face.
Yeah, and it's very carnival-esque. You have like the which is not an actual moving carousel, but it looks, a building. It looks like a carousel. The slide, there's fun, like as you're going up the steps to the slide on the outside on the railings, there's like fun oldies carnival style posters and different stuff. So that was really cute.
Yeah, they're going for a very like whimsical, magicians and jugglers and things like that in that area. That's the theme of that
like
particular
Boardwalk circus, and it was really, really cute. When when you walk through the pool area and then kind of head around the other corner, then you'll hit a smaller pool that's a little bit quieter.
I liked
But connected to that pool is the community center, which was really big. It was like one big building, not just like a room in a hallway somewhere. And we spent some time there too. That was really fun.
I think we were just searching for air conditioned
Activities.
It's like, where can we go that's not outside in the blazing sun? Because at the boardwalk, they have that huge courtyard in the back, but there's not a whole lot of shade.
And there wasn't
right
really
there.
a whole lot going on in the courtyard itself, aside from the beautiful gallery with all the art that I can't afford. Yeah.
That place was amazing. There were painted surfboards and sculptures, and it, even though it has nothing to do with Disney, I mean, there were some Disney items in there, but
There were a lot of Disney items, but it's not owned by Disney.
Right.
It's owned by like the art gallery.
Wayland
company.
Museum, Wayland Galleries.
Yeah.
But some of the stuff in there was
Gorgeous.
breathtaking.
Yeah.
Like
Coffee
really
tables
beautiful.
or actual paintings
Right,
or
large
surfboards,
items.
like huge sculptures. You could buy, I think it was a Little Mermaid sculpture when you first walk in. You could buy that if you
Yeah.
wanted to.
Yeah.
If you need
Or
something for your
$15,000.
for your foyer. Yeah.
But beautiful stuff.
Yeah, really pretty. We spent some time in there looking around and just, they were trying to make a sale, but I'm like, hey, I want it, but no
But it
amount
had
of
a
you selling's gonna
really-
give me the money.
One of the nicest gift stores and general stores was
Yeah,
at
I
Boardwalk.
did like the gift
they
shop.
Had
Yeah.
they had a lot of sections with different really super cool fun backpacks, and they had
And Boardwalk
a
has good
lot.
merch. Like we only got
Very
like
good.
the ears for a thing, but I really liked, and I will say I really like these ears because you have the bow, but then on the back we were trying to decide which way to show it because it says Boardwalk on here, but this is technically the back of the ears. But I just love these letters and the theming on these letters. These are like the same type of letters that are on the front when you first pull up. So all of the Boardwalk merch, and they had like matching backpacks and they had like glassware and different stuff. So whenever we go to a different resort, we always look for like resort specific merch or like fun things. And some, there's some resorts like now I'm totally blanking. Some resorts like Animal Kingdom Lodge, which Animal Kingdom Lodge actually doesn't have their own ears. It's just the Animal Kingdom ears. There's not too much resort specific merch,
yeah.
but they had a ton of resort specific merch for Boardwalk, which I love. It was almost as much resort specific merch as Old Key West,
Right.
which had like a whole section of just like orange stuff, and it was really fun. So I really, really like that because I love me some merch, but
Yeah,
like,
they had a
I
really
really
cool
liked
general
it.
store. Like they had a lot of different stuff to choose from. They had, a lot of clothes. We bought games. They had,
We did,
yeah,
yeah.
they had Disney themed Monopoly and Disney themed Life. The
Yes,
game
I think
Life.
it was Game of Life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had like some really cool, unique stuff that you don't see at all the different stores, at the different resorts. So I was really impressed by that. I thought that was really cool.
Well, even just comparatively, the gift shop at Beach Club is great. It's a good size, but there's not too much Beach Club specific merch for things. They still they have the board games, they have the other stuff, but like we were literally in both stores on the same day, and basically I was trying to hunt down a fan, like the big folding fans. So one of the cast members at the Boardwalk gift shop was so nice. She pulled out her device. She's like, well, there's this much at this gift store and this much at that one, and wherever you want to go to this one or that one. I'm like, well, I don't want to go that far today, but is there any over at Yacht Club or Beach Club? She's like, oh, it says that they have one, but that usually means they don't have any. I'm like, well, we'll walk over there anyway. So we were kind of like hitting all the things. But I think out of all the resorts on that loop there, that Boardwalk has the best gift shop.
Yes.
Like one of the best
Yes.
resort gift
Yes.
shops, I'll say.
Yeah. And I mean, Beach Club has the best pool.
Yeah.
'Cause it's got the
Love
sand.
that pool.
I love that pool. So we
Yeah.
actually, we were at Boardwalk, but a lot of things were closed. The cake bake shop is still under construction. The Blues Corn Dogs is not open yet.
Yeah.
So there was a couple of things that still haven't reopened yet, and they're doing some refurbishing there. So we just decided to go over to Beach Club and spend a couple of hours, which was great.
There wasn't a lot of stuff that we could do to really spend time on the Boardwalk itself, which was kind of a bummer because I was looking forward to like, ooh, like I'm really going to get into the theme. We're going to have it. But they're definitely in a transition period, at least as of, August 1st, 2024.
Yes,
So
they didn't have
yeah.
any outside entertainment that night. I was hoping that we could just kind of, once the sun set and it cooled off a little bit, that we could just kind of spend time on the boardwalk at our resort that we had booked. But they didn't have any evening entertainment. Sometimes they have live music. Sometimes they have like a street performer. That particular night, they didn't have anything, which was, okay.
Yeah.
But they have the dance hall. And then they have jelly rolls.
Jelly rolls, yeah.
And of course, Epcot.
Yeah.
Of course,
yeah,
Epcot.
you have the entire world right over there.
Yeah, you have the entire world.
Yeah. I will say at night on the boardwalk was really cool for me because all the lights are turned on and it's kind of like a cool, like, I'm sure they're not actually neon, but it's like cool kind of like neon signs and things up there. So that was fun to see. But what we had heard a lot about was the Abracadabra bar.
Yes.
And so that was one of our goals to go to for that day. And we didn't really have dinner reservations. We were like, oh, well, it's the boardwalk. We're not going to, we'll have a little bit here, a little bit there. That didn't really work out because some of the stuff was under construction or closed. So we ended up what was the Italian place?
Trattoria La Forna, the Italian.
So we ended up going there and just being like, we joined, I think, their wait list, and boom, they were like, oh, it's like a 2-hour wait. And we were like, well, whatever. We're sitting at the lounge. We're having some drinks. And then it was like 15 minutes later, they're like, your table's ready. And we're like, whoa, okay, we better get down there. The food was really good at dinner. I think that restaurant was great.
I love their breakfast. So
yeah, the breakfast was really good.
I thought the breakfast was
big fan.
Really good.
Yeah. And then after dinner, we went over to Abracadabra because I didn't realize that. Well, they're not the same thing, but like you can just
literally
walk straight
connected
next
on
door.
the inside. Yeah, it's almost like you're going to the bar at that restaurant, but it's a completely different branded name. But that was my number one on my list at Boardwalk that I was looking forward to is because I had heard you have to sit inside when you go because, of course, it's the boardwalk, so there's tables outside, but I was told definitely sit inside. There's pop-up magicians and maybe a juggler, and there's all kinds of like whimsical, magical things going on in there. That's a surprise entertainment, and they didn't have anything while we were there.
Yeah.
And we were there for like an hour.
Yeah, we were there for a while. And it was kind of empty too. I was trying to figure out what is season here. Because I have some friends that they come to Boardwalk every single July in late July. Boardwalk, they're DVC members. They're from up north. And since, I'm friends with the kids, but they've been going since they were kids. And like they loved it. So I was like, oh, like there must be a lot going on here, that kind of thing. And I was at Boardwalk with them about 5 years ago. And it was super late at night. And to be totally honest, I don't remember everything. But I do remember that there was stuff happening. Yeah. And so I was a little bit surprised that there wasn't a whole lot going. So I'm like, what? Like, is this out of season? Is this a weird time to be here? Is this a time where, because we felt like, oh, there's nothing going on here. Maybe it's maybe we shouldn't have scheduled it this time of year. Like,
I 100%
don't know.
agree. Like we're going back. We're doing the Wine and Dine 5K. So we're going back on Halloween for the weekend. So I'm really looking forward to that so I can kind of compare and contrast because maybe that stay that we're going to do will be better.
Yeah, we'll be there on November 1st. And we'll be there the 31st and the 1st. Yeah. So, and I think I am really excited about the Run Disney thing because I think there's going to be we heard that that's like the number one place to stay if you're doing Run Disney and you're staying on property.
Yeah,
so
I
think it'll be really
high
exciting.
Energy, a lot of excitement.
Everybody's excited.
Halloween costumes. So I'm really looking forward to our next stay there.
Yeah.
I hope it's going to be better.
I think too because it wasn't just our room that was a little late getting ready. The lobby is the coolest part. But the lobby was full of people with a lot of luggage, and that's not something that you usually see at 4:30 p.m. on a day. And our rooms have always been ready. I think probably the latest one until then was probably 2:00. And they always say 4, but it's sometimes it's it's 11 and the room's already ready. Let's get in. So it was really odd that we were like, okay, we've kind of done everything we can do. can we just go to the room now? Like, what's going on?
It's like now we're just killing time.
Yeah. And so I don't know if there was like, you had mentioned like maybe they're understaffed because everything felt like it was a little understaffed. Like whether it was the delay with the room or, you know, like people just not a lot of people being at like certain bars or restaurants. And you're like, maybe they just don't have the staff during this time of year or whatever. Yeah. So
something was going on maybe.
Yeah. And one thing where we got the banana splits was, I can't remember the exact name of the lounge, but it's at Boardwalk and it's the lounge that's kind of upstairs.
But I think it's like a pop-up lounge. I don't know if it has a name. It's almost like the news. I don't know. It's like the room where you could go and read and like the game room. Maybe it's called the game room.
I forget what it was called, but there was a sign for it in the lobby. And to me, like when I read the sign, it was like, oh, listen to like old entertaining news stories on the radio. And I'm like, oh my God, that sounds so fun. You know, like things happen. And then we went up there, you go up the stairs and around and you're like, oh, you know, there's people have like brought their own games there or they've brought a lot of it was people like got food somewhere outside, wanted to eat it inside and came here to eat it. So people were bringing their own food. So when we initially walked up, we were like, oh, cool. We can like get a snack here or, you know, whatever.
Yeah, that's why we initially went up there, remember? Because we were looking for a snack before our dinner reservation. And like maybe there's some pretzels or something that we could, you know, nosh on. And he was like, we don't have any food at all.
Yeah. And then like, okay. No table service. You walk up to the bar and get your thing. So it did feel like and it wasn't like its own room. It was just kind of at the top of the stage. It was, but it was fun.
Like in a hallway.
The espresso martinis were very good. So we still had a great time.
And there was beautiful, wonderful air conditioning.
Yeah. Fantastic air conditioning. Yes. Yeah. Oh, and it was actually where the lounge is right above where the payphones are. There was like that payphone room, remember? That was really fun.
That was so funny. So I was like, well, if you need to make a phone call, here's a payphone room. And I took a video because all the payphones are gone and it's just a metal slab.
Yeah.
So now it's a room of metal slabs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, they should have left the payphones and just disconnected them so it would be like a kind of nostalgic kind of feel to it.
It would have been fun.
It was just kind
teach the children about it, you know.
We'd say, this is a phone. Here's how you rotary dial. Yeah. You know, it'd have been like a history lesson, but
it just felt like to me that there's definitely a transition happening there that I didn't know about. Like, oh, well, this is about to be that. And there was definitely parts that we could see, you know, there was scaffolding on the outside and the front. So they're updating there. And then the cake place, I don't know if it'll be a full restaurant or just like a bakery thing. So like a cake thing is going to be at the end of the boardwalk on the other side of the deli.
Yes.
So there's stuff to come.
Hopefully by October or the end of October, it'll be open.
I think so. It looked pretty well on its way, honestly.
Well, the funny thing is, it's like I understand the restaurant, the cake bake shop wasn't open yet, even though I think it's actually delayed. It was already supposed to be open. But the corn dog hut, it's literally a hut right on the boardwalk. It's like, that seems like that would be pretty easy to open in my opinion.
And I would have torn through some corn dogs, let me tell you what.
I could have gone for a corn dog.
So fun. Yeah.
Well, that's why I didn't make dinner reservations because I was like, okay, you're at the boardwalk. So there's a walk-up deli, like a little kind of quick
pizza
serve.
window.
There's a pizza window. I mean, there's a lot of different options, but
nothing was really open.
A lot of options when we actually got there. So I was.
And jelly rolls, of course, very fun, dueling pianos type thing.
Piano bar.
I will say, and I don't know when the change was made. The last time I went, it wasn't required, but now it's a $20, or I don't know if sometimes if it's just.
I think it's
days,
always.
But it's a $20 cover fee.
Per person
just to walk in. And that's a bit steep, I'll say, because you're going to go in, you're going to buy drinks, you're going to spend money. And so, you know, maybe not everybody, I guess that's why they're doing a cover charge. But when we went.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if you're there, and this is just my opinion, but if you're there, let's say if it was my decision, which it's not, but if you're staying at Beach Club, Yacht Club, maybe Swan and Dolphin, like if you're staying on the Disney properties, I think you should get in for free because you're already paying a premium to use the facilities like right there on Crescent Lake. So when we went, it was last year, we went to Jelly Rolls and there were 6 of us. So it was like, okay, that's $120 just to walk in. Yeah. and it was packed.
Which I think there was like a tech conference at Swan and Dolphin, and definitely I think I'm going to go with tech conference, just looking at the clientele of Jelly Rolls that evening.
Yes.
But it was packed full of people, standing room only. I've never seen it so full in my life. It like took me back to like college days when you would just convince yourself that standing in this loud bar where you can't hear anybody, you can't move, and you wait 20 minutes to get the bartender's attention is fun. So we went in and we're like, okay, well, we're committed to this, whatever. We finally get in. The line took forever because
we're invested now.
Yeah. We're not going to give up now. But then the guys were doing a fantastic job. It was so entertaining. I wish I could have seen more of them. We were just like jammed into a corner. Everyone had backpacks. That's why I think it was a tech conference, because everyone still had their lanyards and their backpacks, and they were standing quietly, not speaking to anybody. And I was like, what's going on?
Right.
And there's tons of tables in there where you can sit down, but so many people had full. Well, they weren't even sitting at the table. They just had all their stuff on the table and then had walked away to get closer to the piano. So we're like, okay, but we at that point, our day was probably at about hour 16 because we had started at like 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, we did food and wine that day.
Yeah, we did full Epcot. We did Beach Club. And so we're like, can we please sit down?
Right.
So that was kind of a bummer.
But it probably took at least 30 minutes to get one cold drink, and you're hot and you're thirsty, and so I think we only had one drink, and we're like, and then like an hour later it's like, do we want to wait another 30 minutes to get the bartender's attention? And we ended up leaving. And then we went to the pizza window and sat, which was great. All of us just kind of sat together, hung out and ate pizza, and it was so much fun. It was amazing. We're like, should have done this to begin with. But again, I think Jelly Rolls would have been a lot more fun if it wasn't so packed. And that's just like luck of the draw, there happened to be a conference at Swan and Dolphin. But the $20 cover charge is kind of difficult. And I do agree. It would be nice if you could, you're 4 people and you're hanging out with you do have to be 21 or older to go in. So if you're hanging out with, a couple of friends, it's like, all right, well, that's $100 cover charge. I don't know. To me, that's a lot. And I don't, frequent a lot of bars, but
Well, and it was kind of shocking to me because I know you get built-in entertainment, like with the dueling pianos, and those people do amazing. Like, it was so cool to watch them. So I get it. It's kind of like you're paying for a show, but also there's other stuff going on at other Disney bars. Like, I would think they would charge a cover charge for Trader Sam's then, even though there's not live performances, but it's a really unique experience. And I hope I don't just speak that into existence.
Yeah, Disney Springs, there's great entertainment. There's free entertainment.
The Edison has the live music. Oh, yeah, and the whole stage.
Edison. Raglan Road's got the Irish dancers. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff to see, and there's no cover charges there. So it just seems a little bit, it doesn't fit. Maybe it's independently owned and operated. Maybe.
Yeah. I'm not sure. But
we're going to have to investigate this.
The remodeled room, sorry, just to go back on that, I liked it a lot. It was a little bit smaller, a little bit more compact, but the only thing I really liked, even though the kitchen was smaller, I liked it. I thought all of the new furniture looked cool. The art was really cool. There was one knife in the drawer that had rust on it. And I was like, oh, because we were looking for a pizza cutter, and which you're probably not going to find a pizza cutter in there, but we made pizzas. And I was like, oh, they have a big old knife here. And it had like rust on it. And I was like, huh. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. And then we like still used it anyway. I was like, yeah, everybody's had their tetanus shot. We're fine. Yeah. What are you going to do? We can't just pick up the entire pizza ourselves. So I will say though, because we got those pizzas at the gift shop in the thing, and they were great. They were like the Brickstone stick it in the oven pizza. And it was really fun to like have a little snack before we actually committed to the rest of our day. So
it was nice to take a break once the room was ready. I mean, because I think as soon as the room got ready, we immediately just kind of relaxed, rehydrated, had a snack, a pizza.
I took a shower.
Yeah, we got like, 2 frozen pizzas and heated it up, and the 5 of us just all had a slice just to kind of, refuel.
We watched some rowing at the Olympics and then went back out. I will say, and most people go to Disney resorts to also go to the parks, you know, so we spent the entire day at Boardwalk, and we could see that the people who were there we're definitely like tons of people walk into Epcot the whole time.
Yeah.
So if it was something where we did like we did with Beach Club, where we kind of spent a little bit of time in the morning and then went to the park, I think we would have been completely full for the whole day. You know, like there had been so much going on, but we just hung out at Boardwalk, and they are in a bit of a transition period. So I'm really excited to see what the 5K weekend is going to be, because I've heard that if you stay at Boardwalk during like the marathon weekends,
You're in
during
the heart of
Disney,
it.
yeah, like
Yeah.
you're like in it, and everybody there. So we're not runners. We never pretend and would never claim to be, but we are fun to pretend to be runners for the weekend.
We're gonna
It'll be
have a
really
great
fun.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna get up at 5:30 in the morning, and we're gonna.
I think it starts at 5:30 in the morning, so I think we're gonna have to get
No, I
up.
think it might start at 7. I heard that the Spring Fling 10K had they started running at 7, so it
okay.
might not be too bad.
All
But
right.
yeah,
I'm mentally prepared to get up at 4. I'm like, we're gonna get up at
God.
4 so I can drink a lot of coffee and hopefully learn how to do a 5K in 10 minutes.
yeah, we'll do a couple of stretches and be like, we're now runners. Yeah, but luckily I heard like I've tried to train, and since my leg was kind of out of commission until June, I've been like trying to like. I didn't realize how much your lungs and like your general conditioning can like totally go away when you don't walk for 4 months. So I'm like, okay, I'm trying to get there. Luckily, we've talked to people that have done it, and I just didn't want to be embarrassed and get like hit with the sweeper van or something.
Right.
Nobody cares about 5Ks is what I've heard. So I'm excited to be one of the last people, you know. And then
we're excited to be a part of it.
yeah, I think
but
it'll be really fun.
We're
And
probably not going to win it.
no. I mean, if we won it, that means that everyone else tripped and fell and didn't
didn't
get back
show
up.
up.
Yeah, like we were the only ones that showed
If
up.
no one shows up, we're going to win it.
Yeah, very excited.
And I'll still come in second.
I will say though, I'm still kicking myself because when you sign up for the Run Disney thing, it asks you, do you want to like, oh, you're doing the 5K. Do you want to buy any of the other medals? And I should have bought the marathon medal. I should have bought it, and
you
I
gotta
didn't.
earn
No,
it.
I don't wanna.
Yeah, you gotta
like
earn
it was only
it.
like
but we can work up to that.
$30.
We'll do the 5K this year. Then next year we'll do the 10. Let's work up to this.
Okay,
All right.
that's
one
fair.
baby
That's fair.
steps. Baby
That's fair.
steps. We'll do the 5K first, and then we can
Yeah.
have a conversation.
Let's do the 5K, and then maybe the next 5K we do, we actually train for, and we actually run it. Get that done in 30 minutes, and then let's do the 10K.
Okay.
Because we keep talking about this training, and I'm trying.
I'm not doing that.
But yeah, it's yeah.
We're gonna be great.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
It's going to be so fun. I'm going to try to get like a little holder for the camera so we can like film us while we're running or most likely walking for the 5K.
Make sure you get me falling multiple times.
Yeah, well, that's one thing I'm nervous about now. You know, we were talking to somebody that had done the 10K in the spring, and she was saying that, you know, it's kind of dark in the morning in the spring, and I'm sure it'll be dark in November when you start. And you know, it's the boardwalk out there, and so the boards are a little bit at a different height sometimes. And she was like, there were a lot of medics that had to come out because people were tripping on the uneven boards, and I'm like, oh my god, like that's just what I need.
That's not funny. We're joking about tripping, but that's not funny when you're actually doing it.
So I'm like that. Damn. And now I'm like an extra, like I'm like a little bit more nervous. I'm like, okay. But she was like, as long as you hang back and you're not, because I think people were kind of on top of each other when they first started, because it was the 10K. So these people like are actually running and actually doing it. They're not like us. And so, you know, she was like, it was a little bit crazy in the morning, and it was kind of slippery too because it had just rained. So whatever, either way, it's going to be a very fun experience, and it'll be Halloween weekend. So we have to get our outfits ready.
Yes.
Yeah, our Halloween outfits and our running outfits.
That's
so
right. We have some shopping to do.
yeah,
We have some sewing to do.
yeah, designers make it work. Yeah.
All right, so we're really looking forward
excited.
to going back to Boardwalk to get a second experience, because
And we'll be there for 2 nights, so I think we'll get a fuller experience than we did before.
The remodeled rooms are definitely done super nice, super well. So we were real pleased about that. And hopefully the whole resort experience on the outside will be a little bit better for us.
Yeah, and I think it will be going into like holiday season. I think it'll be really interesting. So we're excited.
Yeah.
So yeah. thanks for hanging out with us. And I believe, our next resort is Boardwalk. So fun. So we'll touch back after our Run Disney. We have a special guest with us for a Run Disney episode that we're really excited about. And then we'll also kind of touch back on another episode after our Halloween Run Disney, just a recap of the whole thing. And food and wine. So that's going to be a really, really fun weekend because we're doing the Run Disney. And then after that, we're doing the full food and wine festival all the way around. So it's exciting.
Yeah, we'll have lots to talk about. All right. Well, thanks for watching and we'll talk to you soon.
See you soon. Bye.